let's do 10 plus 5. You think that's enough time? I think so.
Sorry, Rafi, I'm just coming to the screen. Yeah. Yeah, 10 plus 5, I think is fine, I guess.
Good. That's considered blitz.
I think 10 plus 5 still counts as rapid, yeah?
Oh, okay. We decided G3 to stop the bishop B7 stuff.
Yes. So no ninja, nothing. Bishop D2.
So here, bishop D2 or knight D2? Does it matter?
Bishop D2 first. I mean, it's the theory that we prepared. So
Okay. We haven't faced this one in a while. What is this idea of the C5? Try to
so basically they play
stop
this
the knight.
Yeah, stop the knight from coming here. But that is only when we take on D4, yeah. We don't have to take on like all lines. We can play some other stuffs as well.
So here, what am I supposed to do? Play knight F3?
You can start with knight F3. You can start with bishop G2. There are some lines with D takes C5 as well. And of course, there is bishop B4 as well. Like that's also playable in the position.
So he gets these double pawns, but he stops me from playing knight C3. But do I really want to play knight C3 that bad? Can I not just play knight E here and then play eventually E4 or something one day?
Yeah, that's exactly what they play for. Like you want to play knight D2 and E4, they will also play D6 and E5. Like they just want to keep all the pawns on dark squares after exchanging the dark square bishop, even at the cost of a double pawn. But that's generally the theory of the position.
What is the most aggressive way to play this?
Aggressive way is bishop B4 actually.
Telling him that, hey, you're gonna be stuck with those double pawns and I'm gonna have
Yes.
some advantage.
Yes, the most aggressive way to play against this line is to actually take on B4 here.
Let's do that. Since we're trying to change my openings to where I take the aggressive side variations more, let's stick with that philosophy. Now bishop G2, right?
No, we take and bishop G2, yeah. So we take first and then play bishop G2.
Right, like here.
Yeah. So now black has two options. One is he can play D5 and one is he can play D6, like generally. So we have to wait. I mean, he will obviously, maybe he will castle first and then do D6 or D5. But usually black has two plans in this position.
Okay.
So he castled and now we have to figure out, yeah, what's the best development, because we don't want to develop the knight on F3 right now because it hinders our E4, right? So
yes,
we play E4 first and keep the option to develop the knight to E2 if necessary. So we start with E4.
I was just thinking, yeah, that's got to be the most principled approach. He's giving me the center, I should take the center.
Definitely, yes. There is no reason to like not take the center, yeah, in this position.
Also, in these kind of openings, I just feel like knight on F3 just doesn't do too well. It just blocks the bishops, makes E3 hard. It just makes a lot more sense to put the knight on E2 if he allows it.
True.
Because in the other lines, we talked about quickly playing knight D2 and E4. And some other variations of this opening.
Yes. Also in this bishop E4 lines. Okay, so he goes for D6. Yeah, that means we should play knight E2 in the position.
Right.
Because our point is whenever he plays E5, we should play F4. Yeah, like basically we should also attack the center. So that's why knight on E2. And this is pretty much the biggest drawback for black here, because see, white didn't do anything special and already has some sort of an advantage in the position.
Yeah. Or here is not a problem, too much of a problem also because the dark square bishop is missing now, right? It's not as
Yes.
big of a issue. I'm assuming castle now.
So I have actually not seen knight c6 in this particular position, but I know that in this position, we can start with a3. So
Interesting.
we ask a question to him and he has to decide, yeah, like what he wants to do.
And we're developing a knight with tempo. Is that the
If
idea?
he takes, yeah, we get some development and like knight a3, knight c2, b4, we can try to push that side. He mostly has to play queen b6 after that, and then we can castle.
Okay, so we're now giving, letting him get rid of the double pawns, but we're getting basically a tempo with it.
Yes,
That's the whole idea in the open A file to play
that's the
against.
whole idea.
And knight b5 and stuff like that is, I guess, some type of threats.
Yes. So, like the line I remember, or the theory that I remember here is queen b6. And with queen d6, we play castles, and black plays e5, and we play d5. We block the center. So he has to go back, yeah, like knight e7 or something. And because of that a3 move, we play queen d2, and black is now forced to give up that b4 pawn. Yeah, like he's forced to exchange it basically.
Mm.
So what happened? Yeah, in general, what like after the exchanges, the position is so easy to understand that basically black has exchanged a c pawn for the a pawn. That's it.
Mhm.
So
Right.
once white gets b4, c5, like white has very good structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing in this position. I mean, if you know this theory, it's good. Okay, queen a5, I have not seen yet.
But not just castle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So if he just leaves that pawn there, how do what should I do with my knight? Do I just put it on d2? Because ultimately,
No, no, no. No, I think Rafi, we should try to play f4, d5, like we should play on the king side, yeah? Maybe directly d5 even.
Wow, interesting.
We should push because his queen on a5 is so misplaced, yeah?
Sure, that makes sense.
Like once we play d5 and the knight moves, and let's say we get something like queen e1 or queen d2, I think we win the b4 pawn, yeah? He can't even defend it.
We win it because
Well, a3, we are attacking it twice, and he cannot move the pawn or capture us because the queen is pinned.
the rook on a1 would be hanging still, correct? So how do we capture on b4?
Once his knight is gone, we can capture it directly with the queen.
Oh, the knight. Oh, after d5. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Did this. So now d5. If knight e5, then he's hitting this. So d5, knight e5. Would we play like
I think we should wait a bit, yeah, because d5 knight e5 is kind of attacking the c4 pawn, right?
so f4 first?
So I think after castle bishop d7, maybe queen d2 first we can try.
Pinning the pawn first,
Mm-hmm.
and then threatening.
d5.
Yeah, and then we're basically okay. I see what you're saying. We're queen d2. Let's just say he plays rook e8 or something. Then we play d5, knight e5. Then
No,
d4 is
queen,
hanging.
like if we play queen, so that position, yeah, so knight e5, then we can play b3, and we are defending c4, and next move we will capture on b4.
Interesting idea.
And if he captures a3 now, we just trade queens and take with the knight, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we just push b4, and okay, I think black is strategically lost in that position.
Is that bad?
I think yes, we have 4 pawns, like huge center. His d6 pawn is weak. He cannot do anything about it. Like if we get knight a3, knight b5, it's looking pretty bad for black, I think.
Even though black doesn't really have any weaknesses, he just has
Yeah,
less.
he just doesn't have any space, yeah, in the position. Like
So
imagine you
it's
have pawns
bad for
on
him. Bad for him even without the queens on the board.
even without the queens, yeah. Like it's not like an end game, yeah. It's like end game with many, like there are multiple pieces left still. It's not like a proper end game. So
Interesting.
you can already see, yeah, like this is the situation of this. I think it was the like second last game of this previous world championship when Gukesh from black pieces just developed everything to the perfect place. But then what? Yeah, then you have to do something, right? So this is exactly a situation like, okay, black did what the theory expects him to do. So he's developed, he got everything. But now what? Like he has no plans, no breaks, no pressure on the position.
When did he deviate from theory with knight c6?
No, I mean, he didn't deviate. I think he played all theory, but some theories are like this, yeah? If you are, like, let's say, potentially passive, uh, like even if playing that theory so well and into like a good depth, still won't help because you really don't see useful moves, yeah, for yourself here.
So this is still in theory right here.
it's not theory, I would say. It's kind of like theoretical, yeah, this position. It looks like that at least.
I have never gotten to this before, personally.
Because I don't think you faced a lot of c5. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, hardly ever people online on here play
Yeah,
C5.
exactly.
So D5, knight E5, B3, I think still works here. Just solidifying that knight. I mean, that C4 pawn.
I think, yeah, I think B3 looks like a decent option actually in the position. But just, okay, we have some time so we can calculate if we are missing anything.
We have to also calculate D5, E takes, C takes, knight.
I would just go for B3 because it just is so
Gives less
simple.
options, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to see what's wrong with B3. Yeah. I'm just
But
following my
also, doesn't B3 allow him to exchange on A3?
No, if he exchanges, I just still take the queen and just take rook A3.
B3, he takes, I take, knight takes, rook A3. Okay, so that variation, I mean, we're getting some play, but we're not really. Oh, we're picking up the A pawn, I guess.
I think we will pick up the A pawn actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have similar positions in my material, like especially when I used to actively play this line as white. I have yeah, we take queen A5, knight A5.
Takes here. This is protected. He has to go back. If he goes back, then do we play D5? Goes back. See, he's protecting the C4, attacking it twice, I mean. Do you think in hindsight we should have done D5 first? Calculated that deeper?
No, I think it's fine. I mean, I think this is some sort of a dream position for us, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely restricted. I guess we haven't won the pawn yet, but there's a lot of problems. Sure.
But okay, like this is also another factor that maybe we haven't won the pawn on the queen side. But if we just play knight C3, for example, or knight D2, I don't know, then play F4, double up the rooks on A file. I just feel at some point he will be out of moves. Yeah, maybe just start with knight C3.
Yeah. Why are you putting the knight on C3 instead of D2, by the way?
Knight C3, so that in the future, when like if any chance I can go knight B5, yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, from D2, I really don't have any future, and my rook on A3 is defending everybody else.
And he doesn't really have any, well, he can't play B5, knights hanging, and he can't play D5, pawns hanging.
Yeah, he cannot play D5. Yeah.
You can't really take advantage of C file. I don't know. I feel like this move was not correct. C5 is usually played after knight C3, I think. After bishop B4 check. I don't think you can play C5 in that line. I know for sure I've seen it after knight C3, right? Then people play C5, but I feel like after bishop D2, you can't really get away with the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what he wants to do is he wants to double up on the C file, play D5
He
takes,
can never do. I don't think he will be ever be
play that.
doing
Yeah,
anything.
he has to
Just
do the knight first, but I think he's planning to bring the knight back to C6. That's why.
okay, but then I think we should just start with rook F A1.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that also because just make it really hard for him to ever do anything on this file.
Mm-hmm. F4. I would definitely play F4 here. Full control of the position, yeah.
If he plays knight G4, then
Bishop F3.
knight D3.
Just rook A2. Rook 1 A2.
Hmm. And if he doesn't do anything on knight G4, then I should play H3.
Yes, you can just play H3. Then bring king
Or
F2, king E3.
I guess yeah, it's true. King E3 and then play G4.
Yeah, you can play G4 as well. But just look at the position, yeah. I mean, Bishop F3, of course.
Here, rook A2. And then I'm playing king F3, king E3 anyway.
Yeah,
He has to think multiple times before putting his knight in here.
yes, he has to think a lot before doing that.
He's getting scared now. He's realizing it's not that easy.
Oh, now we take on F5 for sure. Take knight D5 should be winning for us.
The rook is in a lot of trouble, huh?
This should be just game over.
This is actually a check here. He can't protect both.
Yeah, I think it's, and his rook doesn't have a square. Anywhere you go, it's a discover.
Well, he's losing. Yeah, at least exchange.
At least exchange, yeah. Maybe more.
After that, do you think we should just take this thing? Or do we not want to bother with all that?
Well, I think now you're winning two exchanges. So first take on C8,
Yeah,
then
then
take 7.
he's gonna move this rook, I think. Oh, never mind.
Has to give up. Now I would actually just take rook A5 as well. Or B4, but rook A5 makes maximum sense, yeah, because just you're
Yep.
winning everything.
Winning all the pawns.
Yeah, F5, A7, everything is
Right. Sure, there's no hidden threats.
nothing. That's nothing.
Lock the bishop next.
Yeah, you can just play rook F8 or rook A5. You play D5.
Lock the bishop, get the knight in here. Put the knight here, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He should resign actually here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 2 pawns down, which should have been more than enough. On top of that, he's down an exchange, which is just catastrophic.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's an endgame, yeah. Okay, even if he gets there, we just go back somewhere. Yeah, knight C3, knight C1. Yeah, I just understand one thing, Rafi, that you are very good in predicting these guys' moves.
Yeah.
Like you have seen so many of these guys play.
It just becomes another day in the office.
Yeah, you just can predict. Like I could have never predicted why would anybody play bishop F3, but he played, you know.
Let's give this check.
Sure.
I didn't take that. H3 next.
Sure.
He's got to go back that way.
It's losing a piece now.
Yeah. Ooh. But I do have this Chekaruski here. Only- I took that knight because it's tricky, you know. It's easier to mess that up.
Why, Rafi? Why?
Why what?
Why knight a6?
What's wrong with it?
Nothing wrong. Knight e6 was a mate in one.
Oh, well, I wasn't thinking about checkmates. I'm just thinking about selecting all the pawns.
Okay. Grab everything up.
That was an interesting mate, though. I mean, like, that's not a. Do you think that was like a split second, like within half a second you saw the mate?
I saw it when I took when you were taking rook e3.
Oh, wow, that didn't even come across my mind. Okay, so I think this one I feel pretty confident about everything. I just have to remember that against this c5. So okay, I'm just curious to check the theory actually, because I have for some reason think that that c5 isn't really a thing with the bishop d2 variation.
Okay, could you put that queen d2 position? I want to see if it's actually very good for us.
Your voice is cutting out, but I think it's because I'm running the engine. Let me turn this off.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, I've had this situation before. When I run this engine, I don't know what it is, but my computer, your voice starts breaking up. I had this with my other coach also.
Okay. It just takes away a lot of memory, yeah? Like lots of
Yeah.
like basically it's just too much pressure.
Well, c5 is a move. Interesting.
Yeah, c5 is, I mean,
Oh.
I remember I have seen c5 in my material as well. Just I'm not very sure if it's that popular.
Most people take the bishop then. You're right.
Yeah, bishop b4, I think it's the most challenging way.
Right.
So bishop b4,
But
cb4.
why do you think white is scoring so good in this one?
Um, not sure. I think because first of all, too less people have played it, yeah, from black. I think
Hmm.
it's not like very popular as well.
Hmm.
Like maybe the level of opposition of black players, like the strength of black players were not the best.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure, I was very sure e4 is pretty good in this position.
Yeah, I definitely like e4 more than the knight f3 for sure. Knight f3 is kind of like, I don't know, you just kind of giving him this e4 and you're not really challenging anything. You're not being like, bold.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, I don't understand why would anybody not just take up the center when black is giving this option.
Exactly my point. Like we are, it's more like the thing that we are getting e4 first, and then if we want, we can play knight f3, yeah, after defending e4.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, why would we want to block it then? Like
The only reason I would think about playing knight f3 and not e4 is if black had any way to break up the center immediately. He doesn't have anything like that here.
he doesn't have actually anything like
So
that.
I'm gonna get the knight out anyway. Why not take the center first?
True.
So to me, this doesn't make a lot of sense personally. Let's follow it first.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
So this I like because when I play the knight to e2, it means that black cannot trade off the bishop, yeah, for the knight. Like black has to rely on the fact that he still has a bishop. Because if well, you saw the previous line, yeah, that black voluntarily just comes bishop g4 and takes on f3, right?
Yeah.
Because the position is like highly closed, yeah, there are no evident breaks on the position. So giving up the last bishop looks like a good idea. Anyway, nobody
I think
has
you'll
double.
just play e5. Put all the pawns on the dark squares.
Yes, just
Good
put all
idea.
the pawns on dark squares and you like make white's bishop look like a big pawn. And okay, continue playing like that. So I think that's more solid for black, yeah. But with knight on e2, black cannot get it because anytime he plays bishop g4, I'm gonna play f3. I'm not gonna let it exchange.
So here, let's see e5 first.
So e5, I remember like my notes that I had to castle on e5. Like I usually should castle.
He will never take here because this is bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think actually I'm not really sure, yeah, about this particular position. E5. I thought we'll start with a3 though.
Before castling?
Yeah, before castling. I thought we'll start with a3. The queen b6 and now castles.
This is kind of strange here.
Okay, but
like,
no
He's not
other
gonna,
piece.
yeah, he's not gonna take that.
Yeah. And just b3. He can show. No, he cannot take that, yeah, because that pawn is gonna fall. I'll just play queen d2.
So white doesn't care about this pawn even to get it back.
Yeah, he's not worried about it. Oh wow.
It's not looking so good for white anymore, I feel like.
I mean, it looks white is just taking some unnecessary risks in the position. White is still better. Like white has just too much space advantage here. But I wouldn't be going for this kind of play. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
allow so much risks. This is just way too much.
Maybe. Oh, c4 was hanging. Interesting. So here,
I think castle is fine.
he has to do something about d4 pawn. What will he play instead of f3?
So I would have actually yeah, a3. So what's I mean, I wanted to see that a3 line.
But don't you think a3 is kind of like not principled?
No, I think actually a3 is very good. So a3, queen b6, I wanted to see what's happening here. So castles, bishop g4, and let's just take on b4 now. Like instead of f3, let's just take a b4.
Now the queen is not there. Now the whole thing is working again, I guess.
Now f3, yeah.
Wow, d5 first. Let's see. Gosh, this bishop. I don't know how much I like this for white. This looks really hard to play with. I mean, black is restricted, but also like I guess like the bishop will come out on f1
I think so
at
too as
some
well.
day.
But I don't trust White's play here as well.
Mhm.
I think after AB4, Queen B4, F3, Bishop E6, we have to figure out something. Yeah. Okay, B3 actually looks forced, yeah, in the position.
Yeah. Anyway, this is too deep into theory. I don't want to get too distracted with it. So basically, the way he played it, so Queen A5 is he's leaving book. Five here.
Here I already think you, as I said, yeah, like we have too much space, I think.
Yeah, it just slowly deteriorated because of just the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So with this, he's basically just not lost.
Like I'm thinking, even if nothing happens instantly, yeah,
Yeah,
like White can just play a King F2, King E3, G4, H4. Like I don't even have to do anything. I just have to like paralyze you down.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I got the idea. I got the idea of how to approach the position.
Yeah. We can go for one more game round, I think.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
Same time control?
Yeah, sure.
Ah, finally a King's Indian.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into the same-ish as usual.
Okay.
Whoa. Is this supposed to happen? I don't think so, right?
It's okay. I mean, I don't think it's a big difference.
Oh, he's just headed to E. Oh, I don't know why I thought I'm trapping the knight. Just kidding. Never mind. So I shouldn't play here. I should just stick with like my main move, F3 here, right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
So what is the reason people play D6 then?
They just play. I mean, it's not like an obligatory move, but yeah, you can play it, so you play it. It's kind of like that.
I mean, like, if he didn't play White's not gonna commit E5 in these positions, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay. It's interesting how quickly people play D5 the moment E4 comes. I wonder why. I've always played the bishop to G5. That's what we agreed on, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Try to make E5 harder.
True.
Okay. So here I play D5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna play. When this happens, I play this. So he didn't do that. So now do I immediately opt into knight e2, knight g3, all this stuff, or do I now wait with bishop d3 and one more move? Or no, queen d2 is next. What am I doing? This is my next move, right?
Yes, it should be.
Yeah.
Queen D2,
Take the
CD5,
knight d5,
ED5, CD5, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, Queen D2, ED5, and CD5. That's what we
Right.
prepared, yeah.
Yes. Okay, here I have to think for a second because I'm starting to forget. If I remember correctly, a4, if queen here or something, then like we play like rook a3 or something, right? Stopping this b5. Or do I just allow b5?
No,
I
we
forgot.
play A4, A4, A4 for sure.
Have to, right? Okay. Now rook a3, correct?
Now rook A3, yeah. Very good. Because B5 was coming, yeah, so.
Right. So he has to pretty much play like knight to d7 at this point. He doesn't really have that much else
He can try rook E8.
to wait again. Then do I commit knight e2 or do I wait some more with bishop? I don't
I
know,
think we
e3
can
or
play
something.
bishop D3 before that, or maybe bishop E2, but here I think it's like it's already a bit of a struggle, yeah, for him as well. So as I can predict, he went for rook E2, rook E8, yeah. I think we can play knight E2 here already. But I don't know, I mean,
If I play bishop d3, what will he do next, you think? What is black's best?
I think knight BT7,
Yeah. So if that's the case, then why would I not play bishop d3, wait for knight d7, then play knight h3, knight f2 right away?
because when you play knight x3, he gets knight E5. You want to give up the bishop, yeah? That's the point.
Not necessarily, but I guess I have to because then my knight on h3 would be hanging. So I have no choice.
Yeah, but then maybe we start with bishop E2 then, just wait for him. And not give up the knight.
Let's say bishop e2, he also waits. He plays king h8.
Does king h8, we play h4.
Really?
Yeah, we can play
We're
h4.
just gonna go
Yeah.
for that?
No, we just play h4 and then knight h3. I mean, then we are not afraid of bishop h3 as well. We can take with the rook.
Really? And just
I think we should
kind of
bishop
open
E2.
up. Interesting. Okay, let's try it. So the h4 idea, so that that doesn't backfire ever? The dark squares?
I don't think so. Dark squares, we will not exchange the bishop yet.
Now can I play h3? I think I should.
You have to.
Right. Then what does he play this?
I know for a fact that white is better here.
I had this game same exact this game before. At least once. I'm not sure if the guy played rook e8 though, but I think he did. I had this game against 2000.
I think you had similar games.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even remember queen b4. The guy played that too. What is the idea of queen b4? To try to play b5 again, right? No.
But b5 he can play. I think we should gas it as soon as possible.
Why did he play b4, queen b4, you think?
I think he wants to go knight c4, maybe.
Which we're not afraid of giving up the bishop, correct?
No, then we'll give up. It's not a big problem.
Yeah. Because he just wasted all those moves with the knight just to give it up.
Yeah,
Or block behind pawn.
exactly. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, he just played too many moves. And his queen on c4 is also not very free, you know. Like we can play bishop c4, knight queen c4, and something like knight d3, and his queen is a bit stuck.
Yep. Definitely. With some potential traps coming his way, b3, bishop e3.
Yeah.
Does black ever play c4 here?
c4 makes. I mean, okay, yeah, he can play c4, but I don't know what it does. I'll just play bishop e3 maybe. Or a5, you know.
I have seen the c4 idea. They try to play, usually the c4 idea is combined with knight d7, knight c5 idea.
Yeah, but he's not getting time, I think, yeah, for this. So actually, yeah, you're right. The c4 idea is played to get this knight c5. But with the knight on f2, I think that idea makes no sense for black. Yeah, d3 square is covered. It's defended. Okay, now he's ready for b5.
So now do you think if we should stop it with a5?
I think we can play a5 actually here. Or we can play something like h3. No, a5 should be fine.
And if he plays b6, does that resulting structure, is that better for me?
I think it should be favoring you because a6 becomes very weak, yeah.
So if black cannot get in b5, his options start becoming limited. I think rook e8 was a mistake. Because here he should have really played knight e8 and f5 or something like that, maybe.
Maybe.
What is the rook doing on e8 ever, really, in this kind of position?
Actually, rook e8 has its benefit, but you cannot. I don't think you can actually. Wow. This is new.
He's trying to get some activity. He has nothing else.
Yeah, he has nothing else. I think we should take knight b5.
Yeah, I don't see any good reason not to.
Yeah.
Knight b5 takes. We're up a pawn, basically.
Yeah, I think so. Perfect.
So he's okay. Do you think we should put that bishop on c3
Why not?
and take away any possibilities of b2 being an issue?
Sure, let's go for it.
And if he ever tries rook a7, rook a8, then? Oh, I guess our bishop.
c3, yeah.
And we also have this rook.
Yeah.
I forgot about that too. Maybe he'll play c4.
does he have? Knight d7, c4, knight c5, knight d3 type of things. That would be one idea, I guess. Ooh, wow. Rook e1?
Sure, I would have already played that move.
What are my next ideas? Let's see. So I'm up a pawn. I've got the bishop pair. So maybe I can think of about exchanging some pieces. Maybe try something like, does it make sense to play h3 and knight g4?
I think it makes sense to play h3 and knight g4. Maybe I was also thinking maybe we can try to get
d3?
something like king f1, king e2, and then g3 f4.
Ooh, that's also a nice idea.
I mean, we are getting the king to the center, yeah.
Right. After
And
h3 though, right? After h3, then play f4.
yeah, after h3, g3, or maybe just after h3, of course. Like it's even better, I guess. In the meantime, I don't see what black is trying to do in the position, so just giving myself a lot of moves.
Right. These are the type of positions where I don't need to force anything. Just sit there and keep improving my pieces, basically.
Yes.
So this is a very critical skill that I'm struggling with. So this would be a good way to practice that right now. Because normally in these kind of positions, I try to force the win and I lose or draw. You know, like when I try to force things before my pieces are perfectly placed and everything breaks loose, right? Then the tactics start exploding and I'm not perfectly positioned.
Yeah.
What does he want to do with rook c7? I wonder.
No idea,
Maybe rook c8, c4.
I guess.
Should we just follow this idea? King e2, king
Sure,
f1.
why not? I mean, I don't see any problem.
Do I have to worry about this bishop ever getting trapped or anything? I don't think so. I can just come this way, if anything. d3 square is always protected by this knight.
Yeah, I just want to protect f3. That's why I'm bringing the king to e2. Plus, it's a light square, so no checks by the bishop. I really don't see everything is protected. Yeah, like knight, rook, bishops. My bishop on b5. Nobody can attack it. Nobody can touch it. Yeah, I'll just go king e2.
Yeah, then immediately I'm threatening g3 type of
Yeah,
stuff.
g3 f4. Yeah, that's the plan. He doesn't have any tactics with knight d5.
He wants to get the h5 move and then put the bishop behind it, basically.
I guess, yes. Oh, wow. How could anybody predict that? I think we should just go with our plan.
He doesn't have time to play h4 or anything because we have a pin coming.
H4, f4, yeah. So double attack.
Yeah. Not a pin, sorry, I meant just a fork.
Yeah. Plus it doesn't threaten anything. Like h4 itself doesn't threaten anything. So
Yeah. Maybe now we play h3.
I would have probably directly gone for f4 here because I don't see
Let's try to. Okay, so f4, knight g4 then?
no, which knight? The e knight, right?
Knight, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the knight
Knight g4 then.
and h3. And I think the knight is getting trapped sooner or later.
So he really can't go to e3, right? What happens if he goes to e3?
My pawn is on f4, yeah. So how he can come to e3?
Oh, yep. Yes, bishop is not protecting.
Mm-hmm. I would start with f4.
Go for it. So he goes back to d7.
And now king f3, yeah. That's what I was like planning for a long time. Okay, I think white should be winning here.
Mm-hmm. Overwhelming position now. Okay, so in these kind of situations where clearly I have an advantage, so how do you think, like if I run out of improving moves, then what happens next? Do I just slowly keep
So
playing like h3, g4
yes,
next?
two types of plans, Rafi. Yeah, whenever you are done with improving pieces, like you cannot further improve your pieces, you should try to improve your pawns. Yeah, next. So
Mm-hmm.
improving pawn means it's either like you find a breakthrough, like e5,
Mm-hmm.
or you gain further space with h3, g4. Yeah, these are the two things which help in general positions. I think in this position, both works. It depends like on your style. Yeah, how would you like to improve?
Yeah, well, let's let him suffer some more and just hopefully maybe he'll crack under pressure more.
Okay.
So after e5, knight to e4 then?
E5, he has to take knight d5, and I would have taken on d6. I think in that complication, I'm actually becoming much better.
Hmm.
Here, I would probably straight away go for e5 right now.
Calculator a
But
little
but
bit. So
but
e5,
yeah, I
knight
mean, just looks very convincing.
5, then takes
Takes d6. I think
rook
so. But
moves
okay,
c8 then.
rook c8, then fe5. Few
Then what?
things are happening. But you know, usually this is not my style in these kind of positions. Like I usually don't prefer to go into this kind of complicated mess if I am winning somewhere like, you know, simply.
Right. I thought you saw like a clear-cut win because I'm not seeing exactly how it is either.
No, I'm not seeing anything clear cut. I just like, okay, a few variations, maybe G4. Yeah. Takes.
But now what? Protect d5?
I don't know, but I think
What if I
I
just
might.
win after c4 now?
I think we can go after C4.
Rook a4.
Rook A4, knight D1, knight E3. We should probably go after C4.
Mm-hmm. Maybe do it with the... Hmm.
Oh wow.
Can I just take it? No. 94 is there.
No, knight E4, knight E4. Maybe just take it. Looks like a free pawn.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he didn't see that f6 is getting hit twice after 94. Okay, let's... But now he's getting some activity, so I have to think what kind of potential activity he could do. I just need to bring my rook bishop back to like what, f1 or something? Or keep it on b5. Maybe b5, because it's pretty active on that square.
Yeah, maybe just B5. Oh, that looks like a blunder.
I think I just take with this one, right?
Yeah,
Because now rook will protect the c4.
yeah. And C3 is defended.
Yeah.
Looks like it's game over. Oh wow, some tactics we
Right.
missed.
Why not, right?
Yeah, we should take
And then play.
the rook e6.
And he's gonna take this one.
Rook g6.
Wow. And if he takes this, then I'll take with the rook.
Yeah.
Rook g6, he'll have to take this one now.
He has to play rook c7.
Oh, he does have a protecting move. I didn't even see that.
No, but rook c7, I saw rook b3, and it looks I'm winning anyway.
Rook b3? What's the
Yeah.
idea?
Just take everything on g7 and take on b7. Like we have too many pawns.
Hmm. And then just come back and defend this guy.
I mean, okay, if he defends, he's
Or
gonna be
b3.
passive. So I'll just push rook to b6 and attack on d6.
And give up this guy?
No, my bishop is still here, yeah. So
I thought you said trade everything off here.
yeah, once I trade everything off, then I'm taking on b7 with a check. So then I can play b4 directly, like pawn b4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
Yeah. Then I have two pass pawns. I don't even have to calculate anything.
right.
Oh, very good. Now just rook b6, I think, first. Because I need to play b4, yeah, as soon as possible. So
Well, this is
now I'm gonna trade. Next I'm gonna trade.
And then just solidify.
Yeah, just trade now. Now I'll just take everything
Yeah.
and just play b4.
Yep.
So he can't even play rook a6. He cannot do defend. I think this should be lost here.
Yeah. I just have to make sure he doesn't get active on the C file somehow. That's my
I
only
don't think he can, yeah, because his b7 needs constant defending.
because if he ever gets that, then if I ever get that, then
Then it's just game over. Like even if he gets active, it doesn't matter. Oh wow, he just left it. Okay, then it's just game over.
here and here.
This was very good actually.
Yeah, I think the way that we converted this game is exactly how I would like to play chess. This is one of
Yeah.
the biggest areas, as we both identified. So in that position, for example, like right around this time, no.
This king f1
I
idea,
can
yeah.
totally see, yes, I can, first of all, I don't think I would. So here, the normal type of mistakes I make in these positions is I try to calculate to a specific direct win of some type and force it.
Not
And
necessarily, yeah.
you told me that, there's in these kind of positions, there's no need for me to just push a win, just keep improving my pieces until he
agree.
cracks or he makes a mistake or he has to constantly keep back and forth, defend on both sides of the board, and eventually he'll make some concession. Like I need to train my brain to think about these positions that kind of way. Because I'll see some opportunity where I'm like, oh crap, yeah, I can go for some serious advantage. And I miscalculate because I'm not a good calculator, and then that's when things backfire in these sort of positions I've noticed in my games. If you remember from the last big tournament I played against that 1400 position, and then I just kind of like, pushed that c6 pawn for no reason, if you remember.
True. Yeah.
There was a game I played. Yeah, I just had like a really strong two pawns here, and I just pushed c6 and made this out of like a weakness, basically.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think one of the best things is not to give like counterplay. Yeah, that's what is more important.
Yeah.
Like not to give any chance of counterplay, because in that case, the opponent just gets frustrated. So,
Sure, yes.
okay.
Anything else
Okay.
in the callouts?
No, I think, Rafi, for today we can wrap up.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess I'll see you tomorrow if you have some
Okay,
time.
man. Yep.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you. See ya.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.